Welcome, fellow stress avoidance seekers and wannabe castle architects. Today we're diving into a tiny game aptly called Tiny Glade. It's a game so cozy it feels like you're drinking warm cocoa on a cold winter's night. It is a building game set in a tiny glade, but don't be fooled by that. Yes, it may be a glade, but in it you can conjure a simple cottage, a sprawling town, or maybe even Count Vlad's castle. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably asking, should I play it? Well, I will answer that shortly, and if you've ever wanted to build castles, medieval towns, or just sleepy parks without worrying about invasions, crop rotations, and villager well-being, well, this one could well be for you. Tiny Glade is a sandbox building game where you doodle and create castles or buildings. Well, all sorts of things really. It's a bit like a Bob Ross canvas. There's no combat, absolutely no objectives, and no angry villagers yelling about some shortage of something, as they tend to do in these types of games. It's just you, some sheep, birds, ducks, and whatever architectural dreams you bring to the table. But let me emphasize this about this game. It has only one mode, and that is creative mode, but it is creativity loaded with charm. It allows total experimentation, and I encourage you in this game to just go crazy with it and see what happens. Like, if you drag a path to a building, well, a door appears. If you place a pond, ducks show up. It helps you at every step. Tiny Glade is a building game with a bizarre magical realism. It is a game surprisingly hard to explain, but with joy found in the experience. The joy, after all, can be in the experimentation. It's like opening your mistress's dungeon door and then you just let whatever happen. The thing with the game is that it is very, very clever. Built on the developer's purpose-built game engine. Yes, they built their own game engine for this one. And the objects that you bring to your glade interact with each other in a frightfully smart way. It can literally feel like sculpting at times, and I mean that. It's like these devs have tried to impress us with their really smart game mechanics, and for me, they did just that. I was, and I genuinely still am impressed. The main building objects are deceptively simple. You've got rectangular buildings, you've got cylindrical towers, walls and stairs, and then some strange fairy dust that brings it all together. If you want a big fat tower, you just stretch it out. If you want a little cottage, you just squish it down. And if you want a tower attached to a cottage, well, you just smack them together. And if you want a castle that looks dark and mysterious, or perhaps bright and joyful, you just go insane. Literally, this is a game where the limit is your imagination. Customization is incredibly smooth. You don't build windows, it's like you suggest their placement and the game responds to that. It's like collaborating with the devs live in the game and with them using some sort of an admin code to get everything working seamlessly. And if you do free your mind a little, you are going to surprise yourself at times with what you can make. Performance-wise, it runs smoother than my pickup lines.
That's the joke.
Remind me to edit that out from my wife, the shit I have to put up with. Anyway, the controls are smooth, and as you'd expect, the camera lets you swoop around like a drone, do walkthroughs, take screenshots, use different filters, all sorts of things. The camera movement, along with the UI, is really well implemented, and each build is saved. And you can start off a new build in different seasons if you choose, allowing for different feels to each glade. Now, don't forget the Z and X keys for your undo and redo functions. It is super useful. In fact, each build remembers every placement or movement of each object. So you can hide your HUD using H key, then undo everything, then hit record if you wish to, and hold down the redo button and watch your build magically spring to life. That is a good tip, by the way. Now let's talk about the real stars, which of course is the sheep. You can pet them, and sometimes birds land on them for a free ride, and if you follow them around, they can seem to avoid looking at you. They have an incredibly annoying arrogance to them, particularly when you're trying to get a screenshot of their face. And they will crash photo shoots or glide by on umbrellas if you drop a pond accidentally beneath them, and I spent 5 minutes trying to drown them, and I forgot everything else in my life while I was doing that. I guess that's the power of Tiny Glade. Now the vibe in this game is so tranquil, it is a joy. If you leave the day-night cycle unlocked and allow the day to pass to night, the lighting shifts from midday brightness to golden and then to moonlight serenity, and suddenly you're taking screenshots as the street lamps pop on. And by the way, the sound for those little lights coming on is really good. And it's those simple things well done that make a big difference in games, and they've done a great job here with that. Now the pros here, it's relaxing, it's intuitive, very clever and visually stunning. It's the kind of game you play when your brain needs a bit of a break from reality. The devs are still actively providing updates to improve the game, and there is no reason to expect this to stop. It is still improving, and it is a game that you will keep coming back to over and over. It is a game that you will keep on your desktop for some time, and you will keep returning to it. Cons? There's no progression, there's no unlockables, and there's no reason to build anything other than because it looks cute. I think it really does need villages to pop down. I don't think they need to do much.
Village idiots from all over Russia were meeting there.
But the towns sometimes feel a bit empty at the moment. Maybe they could have simple animations. I don't know, a town without people, even if it is your masterpiece, feels a little barren. And if you're the kind of gamer who needs XP bars, loot drops, that type of things, well, this game might well feel like just a very pretty nap and will probably not be your thing. So, should you play Tiny Glade? If you like castles, sheep and the idea of building without consequences, yes. If you're looking for boss fights, PvP, just keep walking. The game is an absolute pleasure. Challenge yourself to try new things in the game, give it a bit of time and simply create. You are not going to be disappointed. And if I gave games star ratings out of 5, which I don't, I'd give it a 4.5. But I don't do that, so that's all irrelevant. Apart from me saying, this is one great game, and remember, in Tiny Glade, the only enemy is your own lack of imagination. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more reviews of a variety of games laced with dry, pointless wit, and maybe along the way I can introduce you to the odd new game. Gaming like life perhaps should be about trying new things, so follow along on my silly little adventures. Thank you for watching, it has been a great pleasure to do this video, and maybe I'll see you in the next chapter.